LG has just announced their brand new V30 device, and if you look at the total package, you start to wonder, what do we need the G6 for now? Embracing the curved, bezel-less design, the V30 is much sleeker than the V20 and G6, with specs and features that edge out both of them. We spent some time with their preview unit, and as such we can't draw any solid conclusions yet, but until the official units are out, we figured we'd take a look and see, is this the only phone that LG needs? As you can see, the V30 is a sleeker, more refined device than either its predecessor or the G6. Smooth, curved edges envelop the beautiful 6-inch OLED display, which borrows the G6's rounded corners. Unlike the G6, the entire face is black, with all sensors tucked away in the thin black bezel. The Infinity display makes this 6-inch screen look normal and feel great. A device that's completely comfortable in the hand, the V30's polished round edges rest nicely in the palm, while still offering decent grip. Gorilla Glass 5 covers the front and back of the device, but the back also has a finely textured aluminum underneath it, which gives off a shiny yet diffused look. The dual cameras protrude slightly from the back, while the fingerprint sensor is slightly recessed, and the flash is flush. LG has properly stepped its devices into the world of sleek, near bezel-less designs, but has managed to retain a build quality that feels durable yet premium, and svelte but not at all dainty. Sporting the same 18:9 ratio as the G6 before it, and adding 0.3 inches on top of that, the V30's gorgeous 6-inch OLED screen packs a QHD Plus resolution of 2880 by 1440. Colors are vibrant and beautiful, and details are sharp. Movement on the screen is also quite fluid, so watching videos and playing games will be a joy. The 18:9 struggle, while constantly diminishing, still continues in some ways. Netflix, for instance, now has a button to engage the full screen, but doing so cuts off the edges. This is an improvement in terms of support though, as previously you'd have to tweak the phone's settings to properly display content, which you're still able to do for many other apps if needed. LG's proven that they know how to offer fun and useful functions while keeping the paths to which organized and accessible. On the V30, you'll find much of what's offered on the G6, including themes, knock unlock, and other fan favorites. Though V20 fans may be upset about losing the secondary display, it's now been replaced with a feature called Floating Bar, which takes over these functions by adding an Android badge which, when tapped, offers a carousel of shortcuts to contacts, apps, screenshot functions, and music controls. This is a great option for those who appreciated the secondary display, as it's just as functional and also easy to literally flick out of the way when not needed. Overall, we enjoy LG's aesthetic and operating nuances, as it teaches manufacturers important lessons in the tasteful and functional melding of manufacturer UIs and the Android OS. Two new unlock methods also make their debut on the V30, facial and vocal recognition. While no iris scanner exists, we found the face unlock to be just as quick as using the already snappy fingerprint sensor. Setup was quick and easy, though voice recognition had us catch a snag or two at first. As the V30 seems to be matching sound waves as opposed to recognizing words, setup and use of vocal recognition requires that you allow little to no vocal variation. We'll see how this technology progresses in the final unit and beyond, but once set up, we found all of these unlock methods to be quite useful in tandem. Simply utter your hot phrase to wake up the phone and see if you have any notifications. If so, pick up the phone, and less than a second after raising it, your face has been recognized and your phone unlocked. Another great example of LG's savviness in putting together functions without having them step on each other's toes. The V30 is a buttery smooth operator. Running on a Snapdragon 835 with 4 gigs of RAM, it's hard to recall a moment when the V30 wasn't flowing through tasks like water. Whether multitasking, dual screening, or just unlocking the phone, everything performed with a near-perfect fluidity and motion that's so pleasing to use. Oftentimes, top-spec phones can struggle with UI design language, either making animations too slow or abrupt, but LG seems to find that so-called Goldilocks zone, where nearly every animation and direction seems to move just right. If there's one area LG wanted the V30 to stand out from its predecessors in competition, it would be the camera. Teaming the 16-megapixel regular lens with a 13-megapixel wide angle, the regular camera is more than capable of great detail capture and low-light performance, while the wide-angle lens performs similarly, but with the added benefit of wide-angle photo capture. Pictures captured in this mode have made a drastic improvement in cutting down distortion over the G6 and V20, encouraging us to use the lens more freely and truly enjoy the near-panoramic scenes that this sensor has opened our eyes to. Shooting modes are plentiful as always, and while you have LG's typical mix of modes for fun and function, their newest camera feature may be the best of both worlds. As of right now, the feature's name is Graphy. This will allow you to browse through professionally taken images and select a photo from which camera settings will be extracted and applied to your V30, so that you may truly shoot like a pro. Unfortunately, this feature was not yet live on our preview unit, so stay tuned for our full review to get an in-depth look at this ambitious feature. Regular images taken on the V30 came out very well detailed, but struggled with washing out colors in bright lighting. This is likely part and parcel with its tendency to overexpose and over-sharpen similarly bright areas. Regular lighting and low light will show the V30's otherwise great strengths in capturing vibrant yet accurate colors. Details are impressive in all lighting scenarios, including low light, which creates definition and reduces noise like only few cameras can. HDR easily brings out the vibrancy in colors that other sensors would lose in the shadows, but bright areas still had a tendency to overexpose. If that tendency is rectified by the final release, then you'll easily have one of the best sensors on the market in the V30. The camcorder also packs its own suite of upgrades, all under the banner of Cine Video. This includes point and zoom, which locks focus on a specific part of the screen and allows users to zoom in on it smoothly, Cinelog, which enables the capture and processing of videos made easier to edit in programs like Adobe Premiere, Cine Effect, which contains 15 different movie genre-inspired filters with which to film, and Video Studio, which is an onboard editing software which allows you to work with multiple photos and videos as well as add After Effects to your mobile masterpiece. Functions related to editing were unfortunately not present on our unit, so stay tuned for the full review on these, as LG undoubtedly put some work into them. Cine Effects were little more than filters for various effects, but point and zoom we found to be useful and fun. Whether adding a comedic effect for a quick snap to a friend or steeping an intense scene deeper in drama, the point and zoom was smooth and functional, ultimately passing as something we may actually use often. LG also added a little something for the audiophiles out there. Implementing a hi-fi quad DAC, the company has put some serious value into your most expensive headphones. Bass was rumbly and loud, and instruments were clear and distinct. Disabling hi-fi still gave a pleasing and balanced, albeit significantly quieter sound, but we think any music fan can appreciate either mode in the right setting. And now I'd like to say a few words about our dearly departed G6. You were a good phone, solid. Your 18:9 ratio and rounded corners perplexed us initially, but your sacrifices gave way to a much more beautiful design in the V30. V20, we also thank you for your sacrifices. For years being little more than a cult classic for nerds, the V30 now carries the torch for both of you as LG's premier flagship device. Perhaps now LG should simply release a V30 Plus, since it seems that only this, and the potentially slightly inferior camera, hold it back from full-on battle with Samsung and Apple. But alas, this is just a preview unit, and October is coming, as well as our full review. So stay tuned for that. I'm Corey Gaskin from PhoneArena. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for our latest reviews.